live, sis. We live. Clap it up. Thursday scripture breakdown. About to get it in. Priest Capital. I'm gonna go over a few things today, right? I'm gonna go over Roe V Wade a little bit. I know Jeremiah Hyman touched on it. We'll also go over Mother's Day and amongst other things. All right. We'll start off with questions. If I have any questions, just let me know now. Any questions off the topic, we can go over them. All right. Let's get it. No questions?
I got a question.
All right, let me take a sister real quick. Go ahead, sis.
Hello, sister. I do have one question. So when it comes to holidays, my question is, I guess when the kids are in school and they're doing like projects and the teacher forces them to do like a Mother's Day card, even though we don't celebrate it, is that sin against the Most High if they are doing the projects or the arts that the school requires them to do?
Yeah, and that's not a sin, but most times right there, you could just take the kids out of school. I would just do that. You know what I mean?
That day?
For that day. You know what I mean? For that day, you take them out of school and stuff like that. Christmas and like Halloween day, like days on Halloween and stuff. Take them out of this. Take them to the movies or something like that. Let them stay at the crib with you. But I wouldn't let them go to school and have to suffer that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody understand, right?
Okay.
Any other questions? Ash, go ahead. Do we have a mic so people can hear your questions?
There's a mic here.
Can you get the brother the mic? Can you hook it up? We're up on Facebook. Go ahead, ask your question though. I'll repeat it.
It's in the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 3, sir.
Ephesians 4 and 3. Go ahead.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. My question, sir, is can I get a clarity on what exactly the Spirit is referring to?
Okay, read it again.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 3.
Ephesians 4 and 3.
Kind of a concert.
All right, go ahead.
Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit.
What's that word? Endeavoring?
Endeavoring, kind of
Let's
a
look up that word real quick. Endeavoring. Did you look it up?
concert.
What does it mean?
It means like to make an effort, to make diligent effort.
To make a diligent effort. Go ahead.
Concert. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then it continues to say, verse 4, there is one body and one spirit.
Right. So now let's go to verse 1.
Kind of one concert. Ephesians chapter 4 and 1.
Uh-huh.
I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Right. So you want to walk worthy of the vocation of you are called. What are your called to? What is your vocation? Go ahead.
Being a priest in the Isupk.
That's your vocation, right? Yeah, you being a priest, right? So you got to walk worthy in that priesthood. Go ahead.
Verse 2, with all lowliness and meekness.
With all what?
lowliness and meekness.
Lowliness. What's that mean? What's lowliness mean? Go ahead.
I was thinking, sir, like not thinking that, like not thinking that you're great. You know, just
That's it, right? If you're taking a low stance, you're not taking a high stance, right? Or you think you're above. It's humble, right? Lowliness. And meekness, same thing. Go ahead.
with long suffering, forbearing one another in love.
Right. With long suffering, you want to be long suffering with somebody, forbearing one another with love, right? You got to long suffer somebody. What do you mean to long suffer somebody? Go ahead, sis.
Does that mean forever?
Forever is good, but what does it mean to long suffer? Sis. Yeah, to put up with something, right? To put up with it, right? That's long suffering. Some people being in marriage, you might long suffer for a while because you're mad at the person, but you long suffer instead of quitting. You get what I'm saying? You stick with it, you stay in it because you know things are gonna change. Or with a brother, right? And a brother, you might have to long suffer a situation until you go to counsel and it gets resolved. You long suffer. You understand? Might be a brother who's constantly late or constantly this, constantly needs something. You long suffer until he get on his feet. So just long suffer like that. All right, go ahead.
Forbearing one another in love.
Forbearing one another in love. Go ahead.
Verse 3, endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace.
And what does endeavoring mean again?
To give diligent effort.
There you go. So you want to give a diligent effort to what? Keep the spirit of Christ between you and this brother. You understand?
Kind of a concert.
That's it.
Kind of a concert. The water.
Sis, what's your question? Hold on, Shalom. Hey, Shalom. Yeah, Shalom. I'm teaching the class right now. I just want to. I'll give you a call after the class if you don't mind. I just want to give you a chance on the situation. All right. Go ahead, sis.
I was wondering, for someone who is facing like an illness, like a deadly illness, like cancer or something like that.
Right.
What, I guess, what scriptures or what kind of spirit should one be in?
Like, are they terminally ill?
Terminally ill.
Okay, like
illness.
stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, like what spirit should they be in?
Besides the fighting spirit, of course, but like.
Okay, like a situation like that, like, you know, you kind of just want to put their mind at ease. You get what I'm saying? When a situation like that. Now, of course, the Lord could change anything. Not saying he will. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just your time to go, right? But you want to just put that person's mind at ease and, you know, probably get off everything off your chest and how much you love the person, how much, you know, they did for you, and so they can be in peace as they go. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things and there's a lot of scriptures that talk about like, you know, matter of fact, I'll pull one real quick. Give me 1 second. It's better to be in the house of mourning. Ecclesiastes 7:1. Let's read that real quick, all right? I just read this precept yesterday. This is a good precept for people, all right? Any other questions? Shalom, hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? Jeremiah, looks, how old are you now, man? 13? Jesus Christ, 13. Yeah, man. Gee, time flies. I remember I think he was like 5 or something. It's crazy. Good to see you, all right? Ecclesiastes 7:1. Go ahead, brother. Read it for me.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
A good name is better than a precious ointment, right? Go ahead. Meaning your reputation is always going to precede itself. Is that, am I using that right? Precede? Yeah, precede, right? Precede itself, right? Your reputation, your name, that means everything. You want to have a good reputation of consistently being on point. You get what I'm saying? So a reputation is good. A good name is better than a precious ointment, something that you can buy, right? Go ahead.
And the day of death than the one of one's then the day of one's birth.
It's better than the day of death is better than someone's birth, right? Keep going. I'll explain this later.
It is better to go to the house of mourning.
It's better to go to the house of what?
It's better to go to the house of mourning.
So imagine you go visit somebody who's terminally ill. It's better to go to the house of mourning. Go ahead.
Than to go to the house of feasting.
Than to go to the house of feasting. Go ahead.
For that is the end of all men.
For that is the end of all men. Like for a person who's about to die, it's good to go see what this person is going through for your experience in your mind. And it makes, the scripture's going to say, I don't want to jump ahead. Go ahead.
And the living will lay it. And the living will lay it to his heart.
And the living will lay it to his heart, meaning the person who's seeing this person about to pass or going through this, you're going to put this in your mind. Go ahead.
Verse 3, sorrow is better than laughter.
Sorrow is better than laughter. Go ahead.
For by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better.
Because when you go be with this person who's terminally ill, about to be on his way out, it's going to make you a better person. You get what I'm saying? This sadness that he's going through or she's going through is going to make you look at life like, damn, I got to appreciate living. I got to appreciate being here because this person's not going to be here. You get what I'm saying? This person's not going to be here too much longer, but you get to spend those moments with that person and see that person in their best form because they know they're going out. You get what I'm saying? So it's just it's good to be with that person as they go. Be with that person, try to see that person as much as you can before they pass. Because every time you leave to go to your slave or whatever, you might get a call, that person might pass. You get what I'm saying? But you get to remember those good times you had with that person before they died. You understand? Instead of not seeing that person and having a good time, you're actually being with this person and you're gaining that experience for yourself. You're saying, oh, I need to do this better. I need to do that better. I got to take advantage of my life. I can't let life pass me by or regret things. You get stuff like that, right? That's what that was about. All right. I hope that answered your question. Just let me know if you need any more. You need any other preset? Solid. If you could put your phone on mute, Bob, we can show whose phone it was. All right, so any other question? Any other questions? Any questions online? No sweat. Good to go? So we're going to talk about, y'all know the Roe versus Wade thing, the abortion thing, right? That been going on. That's in the news. Y'all familiar with that or lie? Come on, come. Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade. Let's read the Roe v. Wade case. Oscar, if you could pull it up. Or not, Cesar, if you could pull it up. Roe v. Wade, what it is. Brother Muhammad spoke about this. I'm just going to touch on it a few, and I'm going to give you some precepts about abortion and how God is against abortion and how it's in the Bible and all those things, right? And what our stance is. Our stance never changes. Y'all understand that, right? No matter how compelling an argument is about why a woman should get abortion, God's mind does never change on actual abortion. Right? A lot of people like to say, what if some woman gets raped, right? I got stats on my phone right now that I pulled. This is from, I think, 2013 or something. A woman who gets raped and actually becomes pregnant is 0.01 chance of happening, right? That's basically damn near never happens. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it's rarely ever happening. Most women who have abortions have children already or married or, you know what I mean, in a relationship. And those are the most people who have abortions, right? Or not even teenagers have more abortions. You understand? Teenagers is a very small percentage of people who have abortions as well. These are adults, decision-making adults who have abortions that are skyrocketing. Right? You got Roe v. Wade?
Come on.
Read it from me. Just read this. This is a case that happened in, I believe, 1973 or 83. 73, right? If you could read it for me.
Come on. Roe v. Wade, 410 U.S. 113 was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction.
You understand that, right? To choose to have abortion without excessive government restriction. So what they're really passing is each state is going to be allowed to give their own law on who can have abortions today, right? This woman says she was gang raped and became pregnant and had an abortion. Of course, it comes out later that she lied about it, right? She lied about it, but she said it was for a good cause. She felt horrible about it. She actually became a person who was against abortions now. You understand? So now she comes out and says she lies about it in an interview years later and things like that. But now a state is going to be allowed to say who gets abortions, who not. So like if you're in a state like California, California is going to allow you to have abortions, right? New York is going to allow you to have abortions. Probably Arizona will not allow you to have abortions. Texas will not allow you to have abortions. Nevada, I believe, will not, or they might be split on that. So you got to see, right? So states like that, Washington might. I think Washington's a blue state. Anybody know? Washington and Oregon are both blue states, I believe. They'll allow you to get abortions, right? And all that. Keep reading for me.
That was it on that one.
That was it.
Kind of.
No sweat. Let me see if I can find this clip. If I can't find it, 1 second. And let's get some precepts. Of course, y'all know some stats about abortions, right? Black women are number 1 in abortions in America. Number 2 are Hispanic women. This statistic been the same since 2000 and probably forever, really, but it's been an ongoing thing. So I know since 2001 is when I first ever seen the stat was 1 and 2, and it's been the same since up until now. You understand? So, and I came into the truth in 2013 or 2012. So I seen it be Black women and Hispanic women 1 and 2 for about 10 years, from what I'm seeing, and it was 10 years prior from when I first seen the stat when I did my research on it, right? So of course, us being cursed, we would do those certain things because we're the poorest of them all, and we were targeted. Y'all understand? We were targeted. Y'all ever get a chance to look up the eugenics program, and y'all look up Margaret Sanger for me. Not this time. I'm gonna bring up Margaret Sanger.
Come.
I'm gonna bring up these precepts as well. All right, go ahead.
I got a little bit more facts on another article. If you
No sweat. Go ahead.
read
Read it for me.
Khan. In 1970, Jane Roe, a fictional name used in court documents to protect the plaintiff's identity, filed a lawsuit against Henry Wade, the district attorney of Dallas County, Texas, where she resided, challenging a Texas law making abortion illegal, except by a doctor's orders to save a woman's life. In her lawsuit, Roe alleged that the state laws were unconstitutional, vague, and abridged her right of personal privacy, protected by the First, Fourth, Fifth, Ninth, and 14th Amendments.
Right, and the feminist, and a lot of feminist movement, right? In the feminist movement, white women were also pushing for abortions, and they used Black women like they always use Black women to be like the frontliner women to push the abortion agenda. You understand? But with the pro-choice and my body and all those things, right? Of course, the church always been staunch against abortion and stuff like that. But even the Republicans as well. But there's been so many scandals with Republicans, children getting abortions or grandchildren getting abortions too, right? So abortion is just a thing that comes up in America, and most people are with abortion and say that you can abort a baby. I think all the way up into second trimester. That sound right? Second is pretty far along, right? Second is you still right, like 5 months, I believe. If you can look it up, how far along you can get an abortion. I think it's up to like 3 months. 3 months is pretty average. Some women don't even know they're pregnant until like 3 months. You want to say something?
So, like I said, I think they got a new law where you can get an abortion like a month after the baby's born.
A month after.
I think it's a month. Or it might be more than that.
A month before the baby's born, you mean?
Like after.
After.
Yeah, I heard like it's like a new.
Someone's gives birth and then
gotta give the baby up and.
Abortion or
Kind
adoption?
of. Nah, abortion.
Oh, good night. You gotta find out. How you just kill a baby that birth?
I'm gonna look it up right
That's
now.
insane. I mean, I wouldn't. That wouldn't be so far fetched. But that's crazy. But these are the things that we go through in America. Of course, the ISUBK and the Command General does not support abortions, right? You cannot get an abortion according to God, right? Go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
Do you think that Americans deal with this abortion stigma more than other countries?
No, I believe other countries go through it too, especially the countries that we're involved, like Israelites are. You know what I'm saying? Mexico, I believe, is getting so many damn abortions. You know what I mean? I don't know about the Caribbean as much, you know what I mean? But South America, I know. Central America, I know, going through the same thing. Go ahead, not that.
Okay, so like I said, it was a bill that was introduced but they didn't allow it though. It was like 7 days after the baby was born, it can be aborted.
Holy damn. They try to introduce the bill?
Con.
That's insane, man. That's insane. But let's get a few precepts, right? Let's get a few precepts on this abortion. So you have in your notes just to show people and just know in your mind that God is against it, all right? Let's go. Let's get Exodus 20 and 13. And the thing about America is they give you so much reason to have an abortion. You know what I'm saying? They never really give you a reason to have the baby. There's more of a reason to not have the baby. You want to say something?
I was going to say, the reason I asked that was because America seems to be more liberated when it comes to sex.
So, like, give her the mic. Give her the mic. Can you say it again? We're going to have to pass this mic around.
The reason I asked that was because in America, sex seems to be more liberated and more free. Or like we have that free love theme.
Or casual sex.
Casual sex
Right.
is just nonchalant now in America. That's why I asked if it was something that America itself has an issue with because of that.
Yeah, I mean, America is definitely number one. You know what I mean? America is definitely one. I mean, Europe, that is definitely parts of Europe, definitely Central and South America, the Caribbean. Everyone's having the sex. America is like the people who make it like that. You know what I mean? They make it casual. They make it normal. They push it out in society as it's a very light thing when it's a heavy thing. I mean, sex is one of the only acts that can bring life and death. You know what I'm saying? So to speak about it so lightly and then have an abortion, and then women, Jeremiah was speaking about it. Women who have abortions, like they constantly think about that baby. You know what I'm saying? That abortion that they had. I mean, like I literally know a woman who had 8 abortions. Eight abortions. That should, some people I think will kill you, but you constantly scraping the uterus and you're making your womb a tomb. That's a UPK word, right? Making your womb a tomb. You understand? So 8 abortions, 3 abortions, 2 abortions, and 1 abortion. You're a sinner against God, and God will not forget it. We'll pull that precept in a second. All right. Who got Exodus 20 and 13?
All right, sir.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not kill.
Y'all understand, right? The Lord said we shall not kill. You know what I'm saying? One of the very things that caught my ear when I was young coming into truth was what they consider life to be in a woman's stomach, right? They don't consider like when you have sex with a woman and you ejaculate in a woman, you finish in a woman, they don't call that life because they said there's no embryo, there's no nothing. It's actually in the process of becoming all that, right? But what they would say is this: if they find water on Mars or on another planet, they call that life. You understand? They literally call that life. So like a molecule of water is life in on another planet, but a man's sperm is not life until it connects to the egg. You understand that? So like you would have to really tap into your mind and say, wait a second. Why would they say something like that? When do they know when life actually starts? Because we'll pull precepts today. I'll pull a precept today and tells you when life actually starts, right? Go ahead, shout it right.
Yeah, I think when the sperm and the egg meet together in the very, very beginning, there's a biological term I've heard in school. It's called the zygote.
Yeah, that's correct. Mm-hmm. Biology 101, they talk about that. 8th grade, I believe, right? And what Ramayam said, he bringing up something heavy as well. And you can research this and look this up. I remember Commander Johanna brought this out a while ago. He said selling the body parts on aborted babies is a $1 billion business, which is very true. If you ever go look this up about how they caught these people, white people, on camera, talking about the selling of aborted babies and selling the bodies and selling those parts to eat. And we'll pull that precept as well. If you could hold for me, Oscar Ward, in the Apocrypha, the odious sacrifices of men. I believe it's something Ecclesiasticus 4 and 12. Just look up odious in the Apocrypha, and it might pop up. All right. I might find it in my notes. That's not. I don't see it right here. But let's get Exodus 1:7. And this is something that's been going on forever. Like the number one superpower always trying to kill our babies. That's not a new thing. You understand? Of course, you're going to be the targeted because you're the God's chosen people. So when you're God's chosen people, it's going to come after you. Everyone's going to go after you. They're going to give you every reason why you shouldn't have a baby, how you can't take care of babies, how you're poor, how you're not educated, how this baby is going to ruin your life. All these things, all the propaganda. They got Planned Parenthood in damn near, I think, every other corner, every other block. There's a Planned Parenthood. It's pretty close. I know about 7 of them in San Bernardino, so they're all pretty close. So you could speak about those things, and I mean, they could speak those things on you. I remember in high school they had a Planned Parenthood right across the street from the high school. You know what I mean? So to make sure that you were safe and protected. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to save you from yourself. Right? They're trying to give you condoms, right? Birth control, which condoms and birth control is absolutely lawful. It's a contraceptive. You can do that. But you cannot have a Plan B pill. You understand that, right? Once you have sex with someone and y'all and the man doesn't pull out, right? You cannot get a Plan B pill. That's against God. That's you can't do that. You cannot get an abortion, of course. But you can use condoms. And you could use birth control. And you could just not have sex. You understand? No, sir. Go Exodus 1:7.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed.
Go ahead.
And waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them.
Right. The Lord said this will happen. When Israel came into Egypt, they kind of started having babies, and they oppressed them more. They oppressed them so much they kept having more babies. You understand? You know what I mean? And oppression, when a man is oppressed, he wants to, the only thing that makes him feel not oppressed is having sex with his woman. That's just the truth. You understand? Go ahead.
Now there arose up a new king over Egypt,
Go ahead.
which knew not Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Salaki, the water. Ramayam, you got it. Wisdom of Solomon 12:4. Hold that for me, Oscar. You found it already? The water. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
So now there's a new pharaoh that rises up. He said we got to deal wisely with these babies, with these Israelite babies. Go ahead.
And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto their enemies.
Right. He said that because when these babies grow up, they're gonna be our enemies. What verse you at?
Still in verse 10, sir.
All right, go to take it to 15.
Okay.
So now he's telling them, like, we gotta make sure that we get rid of these men babies right now, because they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be our enemies because we're the people oppressing them and afflicting them. So we gotta come up with a plan, right? What was the plan? Go ahead.
Start at verse 15, sir.
15.
Okay. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah.
Go ahead. These are Israelite women. And not Zazak. If you can find me Margaret Swinger, if you got that.
Come.
Go ahead.
And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
You shall what?
Then ye shall kill him.
They saying you got to kill this baby when it's born. What Natazak just said. Look, didn't you just say Natazak?
What?
They have the baby and then kill the baby.
Come.
That was the bill that was trying to pass, right? That same bill of trying to kill the baby after the baby was born is what this Pharaoh was trying to tell these midwives to do. So when you see the child be born and crying and it's a boy, kill him. And that's what Natazak just said about that bill they tried to pass. Go ahead, though.
But if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Right. So they can have the women because they can have sex with the women. Because after they have sex with them, what nation is that baby going to be? The baby's going to be an Egyptian. Right? Go ahead.
But the midwives feared God.
But the midwives what?
But the midwives feared God.
And that's the thing we're missing in today's society is the fearing of the Most High. We have to fear God. If you don't know anything about the Bible, one thing you got to do is fear God. That's just the beginning of knowledge. That's what the scripture says. That's the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Most High. So any law you know that the Lord is against, just start keeping them. Right? Go ahead.
And did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the man children alive.
Right.
And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing?
What verse you at?
In the middle of verse 18.
Go ahead, jump to 22.
And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river.
You hear that, right? Pharaoh charged his people, every son that is born you shall cast into the river. This is where you get the story of Moses, right? They took these babies and they put them in the river. What's in the river? Go ahead. Crocodiles, right? Crocodiles. Remember that white baby that got killed in Florida? I remember that by them gators. That what was happening, and they killed all the gators. Remember that? They killed like 4 or 5 gators trying to find a baby. Right? Y'all familiar with that? This happened in Florida about like 4 or 5 years ago, where this white baby was in the river or somewhere in a swamp. I don't know. But a gator basically got the baby, killed them. So they didn't know yet. So they killing these gators trying to find this baby. And they're like, it was ironic because people were mad when they shot Harambe. Remember when they shot Harambe, when that black baby was by that gorilla? They was mad at that. They was mad at the people who shot Harambe because they were trying to protect the black baby. But they wasn't mad when they killed the crocodiles for that white baby. Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember that. I remember it clearly. Go ahead, Shadow. Yeah, he didn't hurt the baby. I think the baby had a separated shoulder because he moved the baby out the way. But still, kill every damn gorilla to save a black baby, right? Just like you killed them crocodiles to try to save a white baby. Y'all understand? Shadow.
And also, sir, back during slavery, the times where they had that, and it wasn't Florida, where they would take the women out of that had the little babies, real little babies, and they feed them to the alligators.
That's a picture. We can pull that picture up, and you can find that picture online where it says it's black babies and it's gators with their mouths open, and this is during slavery, like you said. Now that same picture is in damn pyramids or somewhere in Egyptian culture when they're showing babies to gators. That same picture because of this scripture right here, what we're reading. Y'all understand, right? When they put those babies in the swamp, put them in the water. Same thing that happened in Egypt. The same thing that happened in America with us in slavery with those gators. You understand? So read 22 from the top again.
Okay. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river.
Every son that is born ye shall cast into the river. Go ahead.
And every daughter ye shall save alive.
You understand that? He was doing that. Moses made it. But imagine all the brothers who didn't make it. All the babies who didn't make it, just like today with abortion. How many brothers didn't make it? You understand? Like, we can't look at life like abortion is just, oh man, that's just, it is what it is. It wasn't no heartbeat. No, it was life that was the Lord was trying to bring. You understand? And I think since they said it in class today, since 1973, I believe, which is Roe versus Wade, it's been over 60 million abortions. 60 million. 60 million. You know how many people died of COVID since COVID? 15 million. They said that was a epidemic, right? Was it epidemic or pandemic? Pandemic, right? They said it was a pandemic. 15 million. But they had 60 million abortions since 1973. A person that was born in 1973 would be 49 years old. That's it. That's pretty young. Y'all understand? All right, let's go. Give me Psalms 83 and 4. Get a brother the mic. Ashkor, you got his mic? You read your precept. Now, this is a precept that talks about the sacrificing of babies, right? And the things like that. We'll bring it up. And somebody look up odious for me. Odious.
I have the odious one, too.
Yeah, can you look up the word odious? Okay. I had a brother look it up. You just read where you at.
You want me to start reading?
Yes.
Kind of.
The wisdom of Solomon out of the Apocrypha, chapter 12 and verse 4. Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft.
The Lord hates these people who does works of witchcraft. Read it again from the top.
Khan. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 4. Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts.
The Lord hateth. He hates them for doing the odious works of witchcraft. Now, Stay with me. What's odious mean? Who got it? Shout out. You got it, young man? Let your brother read it. He closer. Go ahead.
The Merriam-Webster definition of odious: arousing or deserving hatred or repugnance.
Shout out. Read it from what you got. You go read it, shout out.
Odious.
Read it with the mic so you can pass the mic back to our score.
Odious, arousing or deserving hatred or repugnance, hateful, such as an odious crime or false and odious comparison.
That's what the Lord calls abortion and what they're doing. You understand? You get back to our score. That's what he calls it. Something that is so hateful and so evil and so low and disgusting. It's insane. You understand? It's insane. You can use it also, this precept, if you want to talk about child molestation in that Catholic church. You understand? Also, you can use this precept. Read it from the top.
Wakanda, the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
And what sacrifices?
Wicked sacrifices.
And you do this wicked sacrifice. You sacrifice this little baby. It's a wicked sacrifice for what to bring up what Rahman Young brought out about those aborted babies who get sold and ate. I mean, that might be a little too heavy, but it is a true thing. That's not conspiracy. That's a real thing. They take the aborted I keep saying feces, the aborted babies' bodies, they put them in a jar, and they go have meetings about who's gonna get them. That's called like the dark web, dark world. You know what I mean? But it's normal white people doing it, right? Keep going up.
Sir, verse 5. And also those merciless murderers of children.
And also those merciless murderers of children. That's what he says. The white man is not a human. You understand? Like the Lord doesn't look at him as a human. He looks at him as a beast. That's how he looks at him. He's not his compassion. Like white people only start to love you after they killed and conquered you. Like you look at how much white people love the Native Indians today. And they name their fighter bombs the Tomahawk and the battle axe, some names that are Gadite names, because they can love you because they killed you. Like you ever see like white people with they got like a deer head on their door or on their wall, and they like, look at this deer. This deer is beautiful. This deer is amazing. Look at the size of this buck, because it's dead. You get what I'm saying? That's when they can love you. And you see them pictures when they in Africa and they standing next to a lion and with a big old smile because the lion's dead. Now they can finally love the lion because they conquered it. Yeah, that's where their love comes from, is after researching you and find out about you and killing you and putting you to death. That's when they can finally love you. Any more on that?
Sir.
Go ahead.
And devourers of man's flesh. And
devourers of what flesh?
Of man's flesh.
This is a person who eats people. You know what I'm saying? A devourer of men's flesh. That's what that's talking about. I mean, what the brother brought up was correct, and it's in the Bible. It's a very wicked witchcraft. I don't know why they do it. Maybe they think their skin will get better. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't get it. But that's what they do. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, because I'm not. But even like the organ harvesting, y'all heard of those, right? They take organs and stuff like that. Go ahead, sis.
Well, I've heard that even celebrities doing like a blood transfer procedure to their face so that they can look younger, and it's like blood, even stem cells.
Yeah, there's white men right now, which is a trend for sure. That they go eat animal organs, like not cooked. You know what I mean? And all meat. Maybe because they can't afford a human. I don't know. That's just my theory. So they just go get an animal. You know what I'm saying? Shout out right.
They had a cult, and it was definitely Edomites, and they were actually eating the hearts of people, and this cult believed that made them stronger.
Oh man, I wish I can get this breakdown that I haven't did about
Disgusting.
Dracula. Dracula comes from a real person. Like the whole vampire thing is not real, of course. But that Dracula, what you just said, remind me of that Dracula breakdown he brought up, and about the blood and how they eat the blood and they eat the, you know what I mean? I seen a cat take shots of blood recently on online, but it was animal blood, but that's disgusting. You get what I'm saying? So what you said is correct. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. That's I believe that's Vlad the Impaler.
That's his name.
Vlad the Impaler. He used to.
That's where comes Vladimir come from.
How would he said he would impale people and then catch the blood and drink it. That was in Europe.
Yeah, that was in Europe.
Yeah.
That was in Europe, and that made him pale inside and sick inside. That's why he had that color removed from his body. You get what I'm saying? But let's get Psalms. I don't want to stay on that too long. Let's get Psalms 83 and 4. But abortion is way deeper than, just killing a baby. It's a thing that should haunt you. You know what I mean? It's a thing that's going to haunt you. And of course, the Lord is the thing that's haunting you. You understand? Because the Lord is not going to allow you to forget it. It's something that, it's just like what any killer has to deal with. Like any murderer, if you murdered someone, you don't feel good about murdering someone. That stays with you. You never forget about it. So if you abort a baby, that stays with you. You will never forget about it. That's why it's so important. We got to tell sisters to, if they had an abortion, you got to come in here and change your life. You can never think about or be that person you used to be. You know what I mean? You can change from that. Just like a murderer can be forgiven. A woman who had an abortion, she can be forgiven too. But you're gonna have to be forgiven. You understand? Unless that thing is constantly gonna haunt you forever, and all that, right? So there's some women who had abortions who cannot have a baby now. You know what I mean? They can't have a baby now because of that abortion. That makes them so sad because it's been 17 years since they had an abortion, and they'll think about this 17-year-old child they would have had but don't have. You understand? You got a question, sis?
I have a comment
Mhm.
related to what you just said. I had my best friend growing up. She had 3 abortions,
Uh-huh.
and then now that she's older, she got pregnant with her husband, and she was excited to have this baby. And I think at the 7th month mark, if not the 8th month mark, she lost the baby.
Yeah.
And she was devastated. And now what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we all have to pay for what we've done. You understand? Like we absolutely have to pay. Like when you have abortion like that, that's why not every single time a woman would have a miscarriage because of abortion, but you make it that way for yourself. Because of the abortions you have, you might miscarry now. Like your sister, I remember there was a sister I knew, she could not have a baby. She probably had 5 miscarriages, 6 miscarriages in about a 2-3 year span, which will kill you. You get what I'm saying? That would kill you. So those things happen. All right. Who got Psalms 83 and 4? Go ahead, brother.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation."
This is in Psalms 83, which we read in the high holy days, right? This is what they said. Come, let us cut them off from being a nation. They want to cut you off from being a nation. Not only do they attack you with abortion, they attack you with drugs. You know what I mean? They attack you. They attack you with poverty. They attack you with having you think you need to just survive any way possible. So anyone in a situation you're in is going to react. You get what I'm saying? You're going to react in a certain way, which is human. But the Lord requires you to be more than human. Even He doesn't care about your circumstance. Your circumstance is your circumstance. It doesn't give you a license to sin. Y'all understand? So even though you do these things, it's still you're in these situations. It shouldn't give you a license to sin at all. You know what I mean? You gotta have a baby. You get pregnant. You open your legs to a man, and he has sex with you, and you get pregnant. That's just that. That's just that. That's what's gonna happen. Not everyone's so happy when they get pregnant. Trust me. You know what I mean? There's brothers and sisters in here who they had sex, they got pregnant. They said, "Oh, Most High in Christ." You just gotta accept. We just have to accept that's what it is because we fear God. You get what I'm saying? We're like, what? That the Lord wanted this. That's that. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, sis. No cowards. Hey, no cowards. And then guess what? When you have the baby, you get happy. You get you start to feel the joy of actually seeing another baby and being and raising a child. You get that joy because we don't have a choice but to have this baby. You get what I'm saying? But now, and America gives you a choice. America allows you to predicate what will be your life. The Lord doesn't do that. The Lord says this is what your life will be like, and that's that. Some people care about a career. Careers are not bigger than motherhood. You understand? Careers are not bigger than motherhood. Motherhood is the number one career. You can have a job, but your number one career is the children. You understand? So now we get away from that and we gonna raise ourselves up and not a child. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have society the way it is today. You know what I mean? Especially our society. Go ahead, sis.
Because you say that, and most people they get pets, especially in like Los Angeles, people treat their dogs like their children, and they get more upset about those dogs being in kennels than the real children who are in cages at the border.
Give her a hand. That's an excellent point. Right? They get more mad about the damn dog in the kennel than the babies in the kennel. That's how you know they don't value your life. You understand? They don't value your life. We got Mexican babies in a cage right now. ICE got them detained right now, and they detaining them and molesting them. You heard about that, right? They are molesting these babies. Not only are they detaining them, but they're molesting them. That is insane. There's so many reports that came out about those things happening at different locations. Not one location, different locations. So it's a thing that's just in them to be like that. Which is what the brother brought out earlier with the odious, disgusting things that they do with the sacrificing of these children, devouring the flesh of men. You understand? Let's move on. Let me get Matthew 5:21. And I'm gonna have to just I'm gonna give you two more precepts and we're gonna run through, and I'm gonna get on to the next topic, which is Mother's Day. All right. I didn't realize Mother's Day was this Sunday. Go ahead, brother.
Did you still want Margaret Sanger?
Yes, I did. Let's get Margaret Sanger after this precept. And then and there's a Margaret Sanger quote that said one of her things that she literally said where the number one focus is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women. And then there was another one she said where they're like little weeds. We got to pluck them out early, right? But we'll just read who she is first, and then we'll get those quotes in a second, all right? If you don't know, we have an abortion sign out in the front of our camp that has Margaret Sanger on there in the eugenics program and Planned Parenthood. I think we call it Planned Parenthood. Where's the KKK thing? Is it in the Planned Parenthood sign? I think it's a KKK in the Planned Parenthood sign. I forget, but we have that sign in front of our camp. But that's an interesting, very interesting woman because she is like the head honcho of those Planned Parenthoods. You know what I'm saying? Of the people who push that ideology of these people can't take care of themselves. These people have to be in this situation. We have to give them every outlet to be able to not have children. You get what I'm saying? Because they think that we're undisciplined people who can't take care of our babies. You know what I'm saying? Which in today's society, they would be correct. Because I don't know if you've seen the Black community and the Hispanic community, good night. You know what I mean? But it still doesn't mean you still have to kill a baby. Go ahead, brother.
Sorry, was it Matthew 5:1?
5:21.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill.
Right. You have heard that it was said of old time, thou shalt not kill. Remember, Christ is quoting this from the New Testament. I'm from the Old Testament. Go ahead.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right. And whoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. Go ahead.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Go ahead.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council.
Solid. Good to go. Read 21 one more time.
Come on. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not kill.
Go ahead.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
That's the point. When you kill, now you're in danger of the judgment. Y'all understand? That's the point. There is judgment that comes behind crime. And this is now when you do that, now you put yourself in the face of danger. Danger from who? Danger from the Most High. You understand? Any more?
Law, sir.
That's it. Solid. Give me Jeremiah 44:7. And give me Margaret Sanger first, after that. Get a brother the mic so he can read Margaret Sanger. Raise your hand if you're familiar with Margaret Sanger. There's 2 people? 3 people? Okay, no sweat. I know Nazis I can ask a word.
Margaret Higgins Sanger,
Uh-huh.
born Margaret Lois Higgins, September 14th, 1879, September 6th, 1966. Also known as
That's when
Margaret.
she died, 1966.
Come on, come on.
Go ahead.
Also known as Margaret Sanger Slee, was an American birth control activist,
She was a birth control activist. Go ahead.
sex educator, writer, and nurse. Sanger popularized the term birth control, opened the firstborn control clinic in the United States, and established organizations that evolved into the Planned Parenthood Federation of America.
Right.
Like it.
Go ahead.
That's all. That's all they got on just her introduction.
Give me the info.
Was she
Rabid Mobo. Well, yeah, we said that earlier. That's correct. What you said about the state will be able to decide who aborts who. Go ahead.
In 1921, Sanger founded the American Birth Control League, which later became the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. In New York City, she organized the first birth control clinic to be staffed by all female doctors, as well as a clinic in Harlem, which had an all African American advisory council where African American staff were later added. In 1929, she formed the National Committee of Federal Legislation for Birth Control, which served as the focal point of her lobbying efforts to legalize contraception in the United States. From 1952 to 1959, Sanger served as president of the International Planned Parenthood Federation. She died in 1966 and is widely regarded as a founder of the modern birth control movement.
That's not. I mean, that's cool. That's good info. I got some right here. Though. Hold on 1 second.
I got her quotes as well. Also,
give me her quotes. Give me her quotes.
Much of the controversy stems from a 1939 letter in which Sanger outlined her plan to reach out to Black leaders, specifically ministers, to help dispel community suspicions about the family planning clinics she was opening in the South. We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. She wrote, it was, as the Washington Post called it, an artfully written sentence. But once that in context describes the sort of prosperous allegations she feared.
Yeah, but what happened is she did say that. That's the problem. She didn't want to come out and be like, whoa, I didn't know that was going to get out there. Of course, it got out there, what she said, because she said not only that, but so many other things that were controversy to us, but never really talked about in regular society. But she said she was very, very racist. Y'all understand, right?
Okay.
All right, we can move on from that. All right. Give me Jeremiah 44:7.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 7.
Go ahead.
Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain.
You understand that? Read it again.
Okay. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 7. Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls.
Right. Are you going to commit this great evil against your what? Against your soul. That's what it is happening. It's a great evil against your soul to have to deal with something like this, because now you have an abortion on your belt. You understand? When you have abortion on your belt, that's putting a stripe as a murder. That's what that's talking about. Right. Go ahead.
To cut off from you man and woman.
Right. To cut off from you man and woman. Go ahead.
Child and suckling.
Child and suckling. Go ahead.
Out of Judah.
Out of who?
Out of Judah.
Out of who?
Out of Judah.
Judah. Number one people on the face of the earth that lead an abortion. Right? Keep going.
To leave you none to remain. Verse 8. and that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods.
That's it right there.
Come on, come.
That's what the Lord said you would do, and you did it. You're number one right now, right? Give me Isaiah 49:15. And if you want to write these down, I'm going to give you the rest of these, and I'm going to read the one last one after this. So you got Isaiah 49:15. You got Job 39:16. You got Lamentations 4:3. Wisdom of Solomon 12:4, which we read, and Jeremiah 1:5. All right. Were you holding right now? Isaiah? Read that for me.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Can a woman forget her sucking child?
Can a woman forget her? Is it suckling? Suckling, right?
Law, sir, it says sucking.
Oh yeah, sucking child, right? That's correct. Go ahead.
That she should not have compassion on the son of her womb.
Right. So can she forget this sucking child, that she shall not have compassion on the son of her womb? It says son.
Come on.
The son of her womb. Go ahead.
Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee.
Yeah, you might forget it, but the Lord said he'll never forget it. Y'all understand that, right? You might forget, but the Lord said he'll never forget. It's almost like it's when a woman has a child, when she has an abortion already, right? She had an abortion, and she has this child. She has another child. You got to start. A woman starts to look at this child like, wow, I could have had two of them. You get what I'm saying? Could have had two of them. And you start to look at it, and you just start to get sad. And it's like an internal thing. It's like an internal thing that they hold on to, right? And it's very, very sad too, because there's another thing that people don't understand too. You know, abortions is linked to breast cancer. Anybody know that? Y'all familiar with that? Anybody know the process of how that's addicted? Not addicted. Related to breast cancer? Ash. Right, the body starts to change when the baby, when the body knows you're pregnant. You start to not so much produce milk, but produce the cells that become milk in your breast. So the breast hardens sometimes, right? You get those women get lumps, right? That can come from that. You know what I mean? Not necessarily is always abortion, but a lot of it is. You know what I mean? So that's another sad thing behind that, which is a judgment as well. All right, give me Jeremiah 1:5 so we can move on.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Right, this is the Lord. So remember we talked about earlier. What did we talk about earlier about what the Lord said, right? About how he knows when life is, right? We talked about that, right? America says life is on Mars, but life can't be life. It can't start without an embryo, right? When life starts, as soon as a man finishes in a woman, life is starting. You understand? Now, a woman might not always get pregnant, but doesn't mean life is not starting. Y'all understand, right? So this is what America deems is a start, which is not true. According to God, this is when it starts. Keep reading. Read it from the top, Salakia.
Come. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
So now the Lord is saying before he formed you in the belly, before he formed you in the belly, he knew thee. Go ahead.
And before thou camest out, Salakia, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
And before you came out the womb, he sanctified you. This is what he's saying. Before you even was made, I knew who you were. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that something, right? So you read this and you say, so abortion, that's obviously out of the question. Because the Lord is saying he knew you before you was even formed. And before you even formed, that means you didn't hit the egg. What's it called again?
Zygote.
The zygote. Somebody look up zygote. That's good. You know what I mean? You didn't even hit that. That process didn't even start. But the Lord is saying he knew you. Y'all with me, right? Solid. Any questions on that topic before we move on? Brother, go ahead.
So I just wanted to add in when you were talking about us eating our babies, like I worked for Pepsi, and me working at Pepsi, I found out that Pepsi had a contract since 2012 with Planned Parenthood, and they use it for flavoring purposes. They use the babies as for flavoring purposes.
I heard that too. I heard that with Coke too. I heard
Okay.
that too. I heard it. I can't, I can't say there's baby, parts in the damn Pepsi. You know what I'm saying?
That's what the rumor is.
That's the I still drink a Pepsi. Still like it, here and there. But I can't say. But like that's we can't confirm that as of yet. But it is something I've heard. That is not strange like as people might think. You know what I'm saying? It's just like using pig like gelatin. You understand? Like you go eat some crawlies, which you can't eat because that's pig gelatin. Pig gelatin is the same thing. It's flavoring purposes. Oscar Ward.
I have the definition for zygote.
Be a zygote. Hold on, let me just make clear. We are not saying Pepsi's unlawful or Coke or anything like that. We're not saying that at all. It's just that's conspiracy, but you should look it up for yourself. If you want to drink a Pepsi, it's on you. Go ahead.
Called to the definition for zygote, the new cell formed when a sperm cell joins with an egg cell.
Perfect. That is absolutely a zygote. When a cell forms, when what again?
The new cell formed when a sperm cell joins with an egg cell.
There you go. That's the zygote. Perfect. You understand? And the Lord said, even before that, He knew you. You understand? Even before that, because He's the reason why those cells form. You understand? He put cells in your body. He's the reason why you didn't pull out your woman. He's the reason why it hit the egg or missed the egg or just didn't fertilize the egg. You understand? He's the reason why. All right. Solid. So let's move on, right? Let's get into this Mother's Day topic. Any questions on that? Good to go? Good question, brother? Why don't we celebrate Mother's Day? Perfect. We about to get right into it, man. You know what I'm saying? We about to get that brother a hand. I love my mom. I love my mom. I don't get why that's such a bad thing. Let me break it down for you in a second, all right? Matter of fact, I'll give it to you right now. Can you look up the god Rhea, Oscar Ward, right? It's a goddess named Rhea. And this is the reason why. And then not to like give me Jeremiah 10:1. We love mothers, right or wrong. We love our mothers, right? As black men, you love your mother. You know what I'm saying? Even if your mother was a monster, you still love her. Still your mishama. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But Mother's Day is not our culture. It's not our tradition. It's not what we do we don't celebrate Father's Day. No one cares about Father's Day. Let's not even talk about that, right? I don't know why I brought that up. That just slipped out my mouth. Right? But we don't celebrate those things because that's not our tradition. That's not our culture to do so. And more importantly, the root of it comes from a goddess of the Greeks, which the Romans took over as well, right? So these things we don't celebrate, we don't get involved in. The reason why we do celebrate them today in America, like your friend might celebrate them, people at your school might celebrate them, is because they're involved in America's lies and deceit, right? They're involved in their society, but we are not involved in society spiritually. You understand what I'm saying, brother? We are here, we're living physically, but we're not involved spiritually. We removed ourselves from their society because it's not against the law to not celebrate Mother's Day. You understand? It's not against the law to celebrate Christmas. It's not against the law to do anything. We don't do those things because God said we're not allowed to do those things. You understand? So that's why we don't celebrate Mother's Day. But I'll give you a origin of it. Then we'll go into the Bible about it, of course, and then we'll go from there. All right. We'll talk about what Christ did. Christ celebrate Mother's Day. Right? We follow Christ, right? In the spirit of Christ, he did not celebrate Mother's Day. And also he called someone else's mother who wasn't his mother in the Bible. You understand? Which was his spiritual family. And we'll get into that. Just like how we're family in here today, right? All right, get that from me up.
Sir. This is from howstuffworks.com.
No sweat.
Some historians claim that Mother's Day originates from ancient spring festivals dedicated to maternal goddess Greeks honored Rhea. So like, let me pull up a better one, sir.
That one's too wild, but go ahead. You can pull up a better one.
So this is GreekReporter.com. Mother's Day in ancient Greece.
Right, Mother's Day in ancient Greece. Let's just get a little origin history of it. Right, we're not gonna go too deep in it, but just trying to let you know where it comes from. Go ahead.
Sir.
And which I also missed was Easter. I can go over Easter at the end of class today, which we didn't get to. Why would we get to that? I think we was in Passover. That's why. We'll go over Easter real quick. We'll go over Ashtar, the god of the fertility god. We'll go over that for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'll let y'all know about that as well. But go ahead.
Khan. Rhea was often referred to as Meter Theon, which translates to Mother of Gods.
Mother of what?
Mother of Gods.
Right. This is the Mother of Gods. Right. Go ahead.
And there were several temples around ancient Greece dedicated to her under that name.
Mm-hmm. There was temples dedicated to her. And Christ, the Lord, said we should not set up other temples for any gods. You understand? There's only one God. You know what I mean? We don't set up temples to no other man but the Most High. This is a temple dedicated to the Most High and His Son Christ, right here where we're at. You understand? So every building we go to in a nation that has an Isupk on it is a temple dedicated to the Most High. You understand, right? Not to no other God. Right? Go ahead.
Pausanias mentioned temples dedicated to Rhea under the name Metatheon in Anagogrios and Attica, Megalopolis in Arcadia, on the Archopolis of ancient Corinth.
Go ahead.
And
ancient of what?
Ancient Corinth.
Which was in Rome. Just because they went from Greek to Rome. The Greek god, the Roman god took over this Greek god and celebrated the same tradition. Is the reason why we celebrate this tradition today, because we followed the Romans. Right? Go ahead.
And in the district of Kerameikos in Athens, where the statue was made by Pheidias. The center of the worship of Rhea was, however, on Crete, where Mount Ida was said to be the birthplace of Zeus.
Right. So now, let me just skip you up just for time's sake, right? This is the mother in Greek mythology, of course. This is the mother, I believe, and husband of, what's the cat name? Saturn? If you can find that, which is the son of Satan, right? This is the son of Satan. And she was the mother, the sister and wife of him in Greek mythology, right? If you can find that part, Oscar.
You said what, sir?
Who is she married to?
Rhea?
Yeah, Rhea. Young man, go ahead. Kronos, that's correct. Kronos is the son of Satan, right? Or is that's the son of Satan, right? That's correct. Kronos is definitely in that tree, where it's he's the brother and the husband of the woman. If you can find it, just let me know. If not, we can just move on, all right? So now we can talk about that, right? We talk about that. We talk about why we don't celebrate. Give me Jeremiah 10:1. We'll give a little history when the brother find it. Give me Jeremiah 10:1.
The book of
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
O house of what?
O house of Israel.
Right. Hear the word that the Lord has spoken unto you, O house of Israel. Go ahead.
Chapter 2, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
The Lord said not to learn the way what the heathens do. The heathens celebrate Mother's Day, Father's Day, and all these other garbage holidays that the Lord did not set up for us to celebrate. You understand? Now, a lot of people, because of the power of the love of a mother, fall victim to this, because loving your mother is so important because you see her and you don't see God. You understand? To truly love your mother is to love the Most High. Y'all with me? To love your mother, to show her that you love her by going to a damn Mother's Day brunch and drinking all the mimosas y'all can. Y'all be drinking mimosas, right? You know, mimosas and bagel sandwiches you could, right? That's not love, because now you're choosing your mother over the Most High. You understand? And you always want to choose the Most High over your mother if you love your mother, or the Lord will take your mother away from you, one way or another. You understand? I'm good to go. Solid. Lighter? I don't know. You can look for it. You understand, right? So To truly love your mother is to do that. Give me where Christ said, him that loving mother and father more than me. The love is not the love of the Most High is not in them. Let's get that real quick. I understand you love your mother. There's nothing wrong with loving your mother. But when it comes to Mother's Day, you cannot break that to go celebrate it with your mother. Y'all understand? Go ahead, sis.
I was gonna ask, what about the holiday, Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo? Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is garbage. You know what I mean? We don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Isn't Cinco de Mayo today? Yeah, we ain't celebrating no Cinco de Mayo. Who gives a damn? Like, who gives a damn about Cinco de Mayo? That's not even a Mexican independence. That's not even what it's about. You get what I'm saying? So any holiday that America deems correct is we don't celebrate. We don't even acknowledge. You understand? So we always got to remember that. Whatever America says is okay, go against it. Right? Go against it. They give you Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King is a sellout to black people. That's why. They gave you give me another one. July 4th. Oh my goodness. Do not go crack a firework on July 4th. Go ahead. Cesar Chavez got a day, right? Cesar Chavez was the most palatable Isupk they could find. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no cat that was trying to run amok. He was very intelligent, but he wasn't trying to run amok. He was trying to be a partner with white people. You get what I'm saying? Instead of being a separatist, what he should have been. So of course, these people we can't look at them as our heroes because they're white people's heroes as well. You know what I mean? Any person that can get along with white society is an enemy to black and Hispanic people. You get what I mean? So just always keep that in your mind. All right, where you at? Shout out, go ahead. Shout out. Yes, you got that. Can you give him the precept? Give him the mic, Salakia.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 37.
Uh-huh.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
You understand that? That's the thing we have to understand. I love my mother. You know what I mean? I love my father. And listen, they not in the truth. That's okay. It's all right. I love them. But you know how I love them? By being who I am right now. You get what I'm saying? That's how I love them. By being a man who fears God and does what God says to do. You get what I'm saying? And that's how I will love them. And that's honorable. And that's how you should love your mother and father. They're not going to understand it. They're going to think you hate them. That's okay. That's okay for them to think that. Because that's not true. You understand? That is not true. What's true is what you're doing in here. That's true. That's the truth. Right? Give me Matthew 10 and 30. Jump up to 34, brother, if you could.
Okay. Matthew 10 and verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Right. Christ said this out of his own mouth. I have not come on earth to send peace. That's not what I came for. I ain't come to send peace on earth. Go ahead.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
I came not to send peace, but a sword. What is a sword? A sword is equal to putting someone to death, right? A sword is something that divides you. You get what I'm saying? If you take a sword and you chop somebody up from the top of their head or at the waist, it can split you in half. And that's physically talking. We're talking spiritually to separate you from somebody. I come not with a peace, but with a sword. If someone like Christ is saying, I came with not peace, but with a sword, you gotta understand, hold on, this cat ain't for what Mother's Day, obviously. You get what I'm saying? This cat can't be for Mother's Day if he came with a sword, because he would have came with flowers. Right? He would have came with hugs and kisses. But he came with a sword? Okay, no sweat. Keep reading.
Oh, that's it, sir.
Now, give me 10:35.
Oh, okay. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father.
Against his father. A variance means to be against, right? Variance means to be at odds with, right? Go ahead.
And the daughter against her mother.
And a daughter against their mother. Go ahead.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 36, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Y'all understand that? That's what Christ said that was going to happen. Ain't you living that life? Ain't your truth, your ideology, what they would say, different from theirs? And that's where they can't deal with you. If you was Muslim, they'll deal with you. Trust me. They'll deal with you if you was a Muslim. Because Muslims are allowed to bend the rules. They can be around you on Mother's Day. In the ISUPK, you better not be around your mother on Mother's Day. You understand? Let me just tell you that right now. You cannot be around your mother on Mother's Day. I don't care if you say, I don't celebrate Mother's Day, but I want to come see you. You can't do that. Y'all understand, right? Y'all get that, right? Am I making myself clear? I want there to be a gray area, like, well, I just wanted to, I'm off. No, stay your ass at home. Don't be around your mother, because you will be a willing participant of Mother's Day. And guess what your mother would know about you? Huh? And that she's stronger than your God. You understand? She'll know that she's stronger than your God. Go ahead, sis. Yeah. She knows that you would break the rules for her. Yeah, sis, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, it's kind of like confusing because, like, in the world, like, some people like put their hands on their mothers and stuff, but then when Mother Days come around, they want to give them flowers, but then the next day they do it like repeatedly.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a lot of dear mamas on Sunday. They love that song, Dear Mama, on Sunday. I mean, I see my mother a lot. You know what I mean? I love my mother. I would not see her this Sunday. You understand? I would not be dedicating anything to my mother this Sunday. Nothing. You get what I mean? And she's a good mother. But I love the Most High, and I fear God. And for my mother to be in my life, the Lord allows her to be in my life. You understand? So if you want your mother to be in your life, then won't you not go see her? Because he'll judge you when you go see her. You understand? That's the fear you should have in your heart and in your mind about Mother's Day. Mother's Day is garbage. You understand? It's garbage. Okay. And these mothers, most mothers are doing a horrible goddamn job in our communities. I'll tell you that much right now. They're doing horrible. They're doing horrible. They don't deserve no goddamn flowers, no candy, no music, anything. And we talked about abortion. They had abortions. I'm trying to tell you right now. You should have had a big brother. You should have had should have had an older sister. You know what I mean? You should have had a little sister, little brother, but they had an abortion. I don't know, when do y'all celebrate murders? Y'all celebrate murders? Oh, all right. I'm just making sure. Go ahead, Art. Thanksgiving. Huh? Oh, that Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and Mother's Day, the two holidays I know y'all celebrate murderers. I know y'all do. Give me John 7:7. John 7:7, right?
John chapter 7 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
You understand that? That's what Christ said. It's red, right? Christ said this. He said, man, the world cannot hate you unless they hate me. Read again, Salaki.
John chapter 7 and verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth.
But they hated Christ, man. Go ahead.
Because I testify of it.
I testified of this world. That's what we doing here. You know, listen, when I literally just said, your mother had an abortion, your mother killed a child, you should have had an older brother, other sister. People just hate what I said. But it's the truth. You get what I'm saying? Not that every mother have an abortion, no. But about 80% of y'all had an abortion. You get what I'm saying? And people hate that I said that, but it's a fact. We just said there's 60 million murders since 1973. It's over 450,000 murders per year by blacks alone. You understand? Per year. That's 900,000 in 2 years. Damn near a million. You get what I'm saying? So what we're saying is the truth. Ash.
If I could, sir, it's 8:34, sir, but I also wanted to say something.
Go ahead, Ash.
God, sir, it's heavy because I was just thinking about it, and it's like if you say that abortion is wrong just because they think that the seed isn't alive, then that's like somebody can argue, well, you know, if you shoot somebody dead in the head while they're asleep, I mean, it's like the same thing because they're not really awake. Like, they're not going to feel it. It's like an instantaneous thing.
okay, it's for sure both murder.
Right.
That one is okay. It's slight reach
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that person is alive. But think about this, right? Think about this. I'll give you a better example you can use, right? This is a better example. When a woman is pregnant, right, and she gets shot and killed, what do they call that? Say it louder. What'd you say? They call it what? They call it double murder. You understand? Meaning what? They said there's 2 lives in that. That's why they call it double murder. But when a woman just has an abortion, that's not murder. That doesn't make sense to me. Y'all get me? So that's an example I would use, Oscar. That's an example that's better to use just to make your point come across harder. You understand? Is that these people say that murder is this way, but when you kill someone, it's double murder. I remember it was a big, when I was in, I think I was in school, but it was a, you remember that story with, what's his name? Scott Peterson in San Diego? He killed his pregnant wife. He got charged with double murder. He didn't get charged with just murder. He got charged with double murder. You get what I'm saying? Because they said that what? There's life.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That's the hypocrisy of that crime. You understand? So that's what I would use to bring the point more home. You understand, Oscar? Solid. Give me John 15 and 18. We're just going where Christ said these things about family and the truth and family, how you should be. You know what I mean? It is not against God to love your mother. You understand that? It's definitely not against. The Lord said, honor your mother and your father. That's what the Bible says. How do you honor them? By doing what they say. Love them. If they say to do something, show your love by listening and obeying what they're saying. Now, when you become an adult and your mother says you have to come over and see me on my birthday and Mother's Day, you can't. That doesn't mean you don't love her. You understand? Your mother can't make you sin. It's like if you had a brother, if you married to a man in the world or you married to a woman in the world, she's a sinner. You don't join in her sin. You get what I'm saying? You don't do that. You continue being who you are. All right. Give me John 15 and 18.
John chapter 15 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
The world is going to hate you. You're controversial. You're staunch. You're serious. You're on point. You're unbending, unbreakable. You're give me Christ, can you give me Malachi 3 and 6, Bible sir? You're someone who truly believes in what we talk about. You're not someone who says, yeah, we say this thing, but then when we get out this class, man, I'm about to go to the strip club. I'm about to go have a good time. I'm about to go, buy a whore. You're not someone who's a hypocrite. We're serious about what we say. What we say is how we live our life. Read again from the top.
John chapter 15 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me.
They're going to hate you for not seeing your mother on Sunday. I'm trying to tell you. They're going to be like, you're not going to see your mother. Are you kidding me? She gave birth to you. She did this for you. I get that. I understand all that. That was amazing by her. I thank her every day for it too, for giving birth to me because I'm here. But the Lord said to do this stuff. Right? Keep going.
Before it hated you.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own.
You understand that? If you were of the world, the world will love you. If you want to go celebrate it on Mother's Day, they'll love you. They'll love you. You get what I'm saying? But guess who would hate you? The Most High. You understand? I don't know. I don't know. I don't fear my mother. I don't know about y'all. Y'all might fear your mom. I fear God. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
Any more?
Con.
Mm-hmm.
But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world.
I've chosen you what?
Out of the world.
That's what the Lord said. You think you're in this room by accident? Earlier we talked about our score, right? We talked about being long suffering, right? And walking righteously in the vocation that the Lord provided us with. I'm paraphrasing, right? That's what we said we have to do. So the Lord chose you out the world to be this person, to be looked at like this, and to be hated, and to be a so-called villain when you're really not. You're really a hero. You know what I'm saying? You're really that. So now you're this person, and the Lord said He chose you out the world for that reason. Go ahead.
Therefore, the world hateth you.
The world hateth you. Therefore, the world hateth you because I chose you. And that's your burden. And that's a great burden to have because that makes you a revolutionary. That makes you what Christ is. You understand? Any more? Solid. Give me Matthew 12:48. Y'all got any questions? Let me know if y'all got any questions. Matthew 12:48. Y'all got any questions online? Let me know. Your brother said Ray Caruth. Ray Caruth's story is wild. I think that's the NFL player. Let me know if I'm wrong. Ray Caruth tried to murder I think he murdered the pregnant wife. He murdered his pregnant woman, right? You know what story I'm talking about? He murdered his pregnant woman and the baby came out with cerebral palsy because they went into emergency, right? That's correct. And the baby has cerebral palsy. I think he just got out of prison. Yeah, he did. And the baby has cerebral palsy because of what he did. He hired a hitman, I believe, to kill, and then he killed the woman. How the hell he get out of prison? That's insane. Yeah, I mean, why he trying to kill her? He had another woman, probably. I'm sure.
She was after his money.
She was after his money. What do you have? $1 million? You gotta just let her get the money, man. You messed up. You know what I'm saying? Brother's serious about that money. Serious. Like, he like, listen, you're not taking my Jordans. She want to take his Jordans. You're not taking my Jordans. Kill you. Matthew 12:48.
So you want to start at 46?
Is that better?
Come on.
Okay, no sweat. Now, Zach, if you could, one more time, can you see me, Bible Show?
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without.
This is the precept I wanted to get to. This is an excellent precept just to understand the spirit of Christ and the spirit of what we do, because this precept is embodies who we are in ISUPK. You understand? Read it again from the top.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 46.
Go ahead.
While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without.
Right. So he's out. Let's give a camp setting. He's at camp, right? Let's say he's at camp. He's at camp and he's with the Akim. You know what I mean? None of his physical brothers or, his physical family. This is the brothers he's with in the spirit of the Most High, right? And he's talking to the people. He's teaching the people and all that. So mind you, he's teaching. And at camp, we have a barrier. We got guards on the side. We have our camp equipment, and that's our barrier. And I'm inside the camp. It's like, I'm not trying to say I'm Christ-like, but we inside the camp. I'm inside the camp talking. Brothers inside the camp talk the water and all that, right? So now, and his mother and his brother is outside the camp wanting to speak to Christ. If they're outside the camp, what does that tell us about this precept? What does that tell us? Sis. There you go. That they're in the world. So Christ's mother was in the world. You understand? Christ's brother was in the world. But Christ's brothers is with him. You understand, right? Keep going.
Desiring to speak with him. Verse 47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without.
He said, Slaki, go ahead.
Desiring to speak with thee.
Right. So the brother come up to him, like just like any camp leader. A camp leader might be in the back, and the first person they talk to is the information table, right? The information table is on this side, and the information table is Salakia. Your mother and your father, your mother and your brother, they outside of the camp, sir, but when they talk to you, right? Go ahead.
Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him.
Right, but he answered and said unto him that told him, go ahead.
Who is my mother?
Who is what?
Who is my mother?
Who is my mother? Go ahead.
And who are my brethren?
Uh-huh.
Verse 49. He stretched forth his hand toward his disciples.
Towards his who?
His disciples.
Go ahead.
and said, behold, my mother and my brethren.
That's heavy, right? You talking about going to Mother's Day. You can't go to Mother's Day because guess what? These is my brothers right here. You understand? We can't go celebrate Mother's Day because these brothers right here don't celebrate Mother's Day. That's my mother and my brethren. That's who my life belongs to. This is my family. You understand?
Okay.
Like ain't nobody in here. Nobody's y'all got kids, right? But no one else is related in here. But we're family though. We're family because we're joined onto Christ. And we live the life that Christ wanted us to live, not the life that your mother wanted you to live. You understand?
Okay.
We don't live that life. That's the life Americans live. You know what I mean? We are not spiritually American. We are of the seed of Jacob. You get what I'm saying? We're the sons of Jacob, son of Yasharallah, and we carry the tradition of not celebrating something that doesn't belong to us. That's why Christ said, who's my mother? Who's my father? If they ain't back here speaking with me or working with me, then there's no reason for me to speak to them. I can speak to them after I'm done doing what I'm doing. You understand?
Okay.
They wanted to speak to Christ, and Christ said, nah, this is my mother. This is my brother right here. So tell me if Christ celebrated any Mother's Day. Did that sound like he went to Mother's Day out to y'all? I don't know. It didn't sound like it to me. It sounded like he ignored his mother. You understand? It sounded like he just ignored her and told her, well, I'll talk to you in a minute. Or told his man to tell her. He even tell his own mother. He told his man, tell that sister, I'll talk to her in a second, all right? That's that. Shout out, go ahead.
Verse 50, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
You understand, right? That's why in here we family, because we do the will of the Most High, and that's why we're together. That's why I'm gonna do what y'all say and not what my mother says. You understand? Anyone that does the work of the Most High, the same as my family. That's my family. You get what I mean? We all went to we was in Florida at the Passover. We didn't celebrate Easter, right? We celebrated the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You get what I mean? And then on Sunday we went home, which is Easter, to white man, right? We went home, or some of us stayed and had a drink with some more brothers and sisters, which was their family. You understand? Let's get some more. John 2:2. Yes, I do, Malachi 3:6. Let me get Malachi 3:6. This is a good precept just for y'all to hold in your notes to let you know that the Lord does not change. Right? Is that one? Go ahead.
Look at Malachi chapter 3, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For I am the Lord, I change not.
I am the Lord. Read again.
I am the Lord. What say? I am the Lord, I change not.
Y'all understand, right? The Lord never changes. There's no gray area with the Lord. So now the Lord said he's going to destroy America one day. Believe that's going to happen. You understand? And the Lord says that he would judge you for your sins. It's going to happen. Now, you don't decide when judgment comes. Your only decision is not committing sins. That's your decision. That's what you live with. If you want to control life and death, just don't sin against the Most High, so you won't be in fear of danger of the judgment. Y'all understand? So you got to take that up with yourself, which was another topic I want to go into is forgiveness of sins. Like we'll do that next week, though. All right. Let me get John 2:2. You can read it.
Okay. The book of John, chapter 2, verse 2, and both Yahushua was called and his disciples to the marriage.
Right. So now Christ is going to a wedding, right? Christ is going to the wedding. He's with the Akim. He's going to, mind you, he's always with the Akim. You get what I'm saying? That's what you get in the precepts. He's rolling with the Akim. So that's why you see brothers all the time. We always together, at least two of us. You know what I mean? 2, 3 of us, we're going to roll together, right? Go ahead.
It's like it, sir. And when verse 3, and when they wanted wine, the mother of Yahushua saith unto him, they have no wine. And Yahushua saith unto her, woman, what have I to do with thee?
Right. So mind you, Christ goes to a wedding with the Akim. He's going to the, just think about it like this. We're going to a wedding. At the wedding, this is an Israelite fest, which is not a sin to go to a wedding. You know what I mean? Now, in the spirit of us, in the spirit of UPK, we are not stepping into a church. You understand?
Right.
Unless we're here to battle someone in that church. But we're not about to step in a church to be at a wedding. Like, I would not do that. Not that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Now a church is just a building, of course. But in my mind, this is a synagogue of Satan.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm not stepping in that church to do anything but battle you if I'm going to do anything. But a reception, which what they're going to, reception, you go to reception all day. You get what I'm saying? It's a reception, it's a party. This is Christ is going to. Christ is about to go to a party with the Akim. So he says, his mother comes up to him, mind you, so she's a Levite woman, a house of Judah, right? So she comes over and she tells him, I'm sure she was pretty buzzed. I'm sure she's pretty, what you would say, on one, right? She comes to Christ and says, ain't no more wine. I know you like to drink. Ain't no more wine. I know you can make some wine. I know you can make it happen. And Christ says, woman, what am I going to do with you? Golly. This is his mother now, right? He like, can't do nothing. This is my mother. Like, Christ out of mother. He like, Jesus Christ. All right, no problem. Go ahead.
My hour is not yet come.
My hour is not yet come. What's that mean when he said my hour is not yet come? I score. Absolutely. That's exactly what it means. This was not time, got Christ's time to show the world his miracles. But her being his mother knows who her son is. You get what I'm saying? She knows what her son is capable of, and she uses that to her advantage because she knows she want to keep the party going. She want to get the wine going, right? And that's such a lie when they say Christ turned water into wine. He didn't turn water into wine. He turned 5 barrels into wine. Y'all understand? You know what I mean? He didn't take, like, people think it was just a cup of wine, a cup of water that he turned water into wine. No, it was barrels of water that he turned into wine. Go ahead, brother. Right. That's another part they use. They'll say wine is lawful, but liquor isn't. When in scripture they say give a man strong drink when he's about to perish. You know what I'm saying? That's why we call strong. It's in the Bible. We call it strong. Go ahead, Ash. Cesar.
His mother said unto the servants, whatsoever he said unto you, do it. And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece.
Solid. Now you could drop that, but you understand the point, right? So now he took these 6 barrels, he took these 6 barrels and made them all wine and said, man, the party's gonna keep going. And I'm pretty sure this wine was excellent wine. You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of wine y'all be drinking. There's some wine that you can find for $20, which is excellent. Then there's wine that you find for like $200, which is, I never had. I didn't mean that person. But y'all understand. I had strong worth $200. I don't know about no wine. Let me get Luke 23 and 28. But you see the point of where I'm going to, right? So we talked about Mother's Day. We briefly talked about Mother's Day and how the spiritual strength lies in this when it comes to Mother's Day, right? We all understand that you love your mother. Most people have a weakness to a mother. As a member of the UPK, you cannot have a weakness to people. You get what I'm saying? When people know you have a weakness to them, when I say a weakness, like say you have a friend, right? You have a friend, and this is your best buddy. You know what I mean? This is your best friend. Certain friends allow weaknesses in each other because they're friends. You can't have those weaknesses. You got to be able to know these weaknesses and not deal with them as your friend. And especially if you're a family member, you know each other so much that because they know the old you allow yourself to be a little weak around them. You understand? Don't do that. Don't do that. The way you are in front of us is the way you should be all the time. You understand? Like, as far as your integrity, your integrity can't change when you're around people not in the truth, because that doesn't make you as strong as you should be You understand? You got to ignore that weakness that people know of you and become someone new, the new person that you are. You can't revert back to that old man because this person knows that you used to smoke weed or this person knows you used to pop whores. You understand? Y'all can't do that. You have to be this person all the time. So be careful with those things around your family or people in the world that knew you from the past, because you're no longer that person in the past. You understand? You work too hard to change that person into who you are today, to revert back when it's convenient for your flesh, especially. You understand? So you got to make sure you live in that spiritual realm of, this is what I believe, my integrity matters to me, and that's how life is going to be like from here on out. And these people have to get, they have to recognize that and get accustomed to this new person. Don't get accustomed to that old person. Allow them to be accustomed to the new person you are right now. Y'all understand? All right, solid. Where you at?
Sir, Luke 23 and 28.
All right, read that for me, Robert Shaw.
The book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
But Yahushua, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children.
Right. The Lord said this, man. This is Christ about to die. And the women and the people are crying for him, because imagine like one of the leaders of the community who is a real brother, show up, be around, show you love, teach you things. You look up to the person, you know he about to go die. So they crying for him. They're like, damn, man. Like, man, he about to go, man. That's crazy. Like, I'm, crying. So they crying and all that. And he telling them, man, don't cry for me. Don't cry for me. Cry for them. Right? Cry for them. Go ahead.
Verse 29. For behold, the days are coming in which, it's like an end of which, they shall say, blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave suck.
This is heavy, because in this precept, if you read the book, Timbuktu, Babylon and Timbuktu, right? You read that book, Babylon and Timbuktu. This precept correlates exactly what Christ is saying. This is a prophecy of what Christ said about what was going to happen when the Romans was going to encompass Jerusalem, when they was going to push out the people of Jerusalem into what they would call Africa at that time, when they pushed into Africa. This is a prophecy that Christ talked about, right? And he's more talking about the love that these people of the community, that wasn't his family, loved him so much, and how he loved them to warn them, to tell them what life was going to be like in 1 second. You go back to 28.
Come. Luke 23 and 28. Mm-hmm. But Yahushua, turning unto them, said, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves.
Right. Weep not for me, but weep for yourselves, man. It's going to happen. Daughters of Jerusalem, right? The daughters of Jerusalem. To be a daughter of Zion, to be a daughter of Jerusalem, you got to make sure you carry yourself in a certain way that other sisters in the world, or even other sisters in the school, can see you and say, man, that's an excellent example of a sister in the truth. You understand? You got to be that way. These sisters was crying for a brother who he wasn't a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? He was a cat that was in the struggle just like them, rocking with them, teaching them, correcting them, and all that, and was being this way because he loved them. And they loved them back in return. These women, these are the same sisters who gave him everything when they had nothing. You understand? Like these sisters that did that. So for them to cry was correct to do. They was gonna miss that brother, but he had to go do what he had to go do. You understand? Maybe Mark 6 and 4. Y'all any questions in the room, or any questions online? We got a lot of people online right now. Let me know if y'all have any questions online. I'll answer those questions online, Bobby. So, Commodore, you got a question?
No, sir. I don't know if this is on your breakdown, but I have a precept.
Go ahead, pull the precept.
Yeah, sir. The book of Luke, the 11th chapter, and the 27th verse.
Luke 11 and 27. Go ahead,
It says, and it came to pass, as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked. And he said, yea, rather blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it.
Blessed are they that what?
hear the word of God and keep it.
Y'all understand that, right? Read from the top. I'll break it down.
Come on, sir. 11 and 27 in the book of Luke.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said unto him, Blessed is the womb that bare thee, and the paps which thou hast sucked.
God, right? So the woman is saying, this is a woman, right?
Come.
She said, this is what you hear in the black community all the time. The black woman is God, right? She said, blessed is the womb that bare thee and gave you the what to suck?
The paps.
The paps to suck. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 28. And he said, Yea, rather, blessed are they that hear the word of God.
That's a prophet of God cutting a woman. That is a prophet of God cutting a woman to piss, because she said, blessed are you because you come from a woman. And I gave you these breasts to suck. I gave you this. I gave you life. My brother said, yeah, rather this. How about this? How about blessed are they that hear the word of God and obey? How about that? That is One West. That was a One West precept, right? Excellent precept. Get that brother a hand. Because that's what you'll have. That's what you'll have in today's society, about how they say you gotta, black woman is God. You gotta worship this woman, because without women, y'all brothers be talking women. Y'all understand when cats do this, they're trying to hype a woman up to pump their head up so they can rob their black ass. That's what they're trying to do. You understand? That's what they really want to do. Just like any common thief that wants to blow up a woman's mind, just like, read my mind, please. Just like, Nazat.
We talking biblical?
Yes, just like, come on, just like, anyone else want to give it a shot? Everybody, brother, think, Ash, just like, nah, not Will Smith, just like, brother, a pimp. Yeah, I mean pimps, but that's not my answer. That's not the answer. I mean, shot a rock. Polite, the polite was where I was thinking, but that's not the answer though. But that's what came in my mind when it came to worshiping women. I score. It's just like the Christian church. Yeah, y'all not saying y'all. When I say it, y'all gonna get mad. Come it up. Pastor. Yes, all these people are true, but there's an origin to the person I'm talking about. Just like
it's biblical, right?
Yes.
Talking about the snake.
There you go. Just like that snake in the garden. Because what did that snake in the garden do to that woman? He pumped her mind up to make her believe that what? She can know the knowledge of good and evil when she should have just knew knowledge of good. You understand? But when you do that to a woman and you tell her, listen, a woman, a black woman, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman, they are a necessity, and they're so strong in this society. But they're not a god. You understand? They are not gods, and they're not to be treated as gods. That's when you're going against the Most High. Don't say that. Don't do those things. Men love women, that's for sure, but they're not gods. You understand? So don't do that. You're making a woman. You're really removing her position when you put her on a pedestal like that. Her position is not to be on high, looking down. Her position is to be an asset to a man. That's her position. And that's the most powerful position there is. You get what I'm saying? In a family structure. So now, to say a woman is the reason why life is the way it is the whole reason why our community the way it is right now. You get what I mean? Because the white man did what? What did he do? He went into your home, he bound you up, got rid of you, got in the children's minds, and now your son is a homosexual or gang member, and your daughter is a whore. You understand, right? Come on down.
I was gonna say that's heavy because there's an abundance of women, but the fathers are, not in they're not in household leading the children.
Yeah.
Giving them correction.
But why though? Why though, come down? Why are these fathers gone? The woman put him out. Okay, let me break it down. The woman put him out for sure, right? Then they said that man, now these are certain women, right? They said that man was a deadbeat, right? He was a deadbeat father. He wasn't a no good. He didn't want to take care of his kids. He didn't want to get a job, none of those things. But then this same man gets with another woman and has kids. And then those kids grow up and they see their father being the most amazing father ever to these other kids. They start to think, like, wait, hold on. I thought he was a horrible dad. You understand? Wait. You took you where? He showed up to what? He took you to practices. I thought my mom said he was a deadbeat. Yeah, no. Your mom was a deadbeat. That's the problem. Go ahead, shut up. Go ahead, comment on.
What you were saying is so heavy because this is one of the women, but they're the ones that are raising up the children, but their daughters are promiscuous. The boys are drug addicts, drug dealers.
Yeah.
Gang banging.
Mhm.
What you were saying, and that's what they raise.
Listen, a child needs a father and a mother.
Right.
You understand? Like a father would never say, "No, all you need is me." You like what? A father's position can't even be in a fatherly role if it's just you. Now, a father can do a good job raising children. Don't get me wrong; they can do a good job. You know what I mean? And there's some mothers who did a good, decent. They did the best they could. Yeah, they did the best they could, and whatever their son is a murderer today, but they did the best they could. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, a child needs his mother and his father, the mother and a father. That's the point. Because now you get the best of both worlds. You get what I'm saying? Why won't we push that? Why do we have to push that? Certain mothers need to be with their child, and that's that. No, a father wants to be a child to somebody. He obviously ain't a deadbeat. He had more kids. He wanted to be a father to somebody. Sometimes he's not allowed to be a father. You get what I'm saying? So he has to go find a woman who allows him to be a father in his child's life so he can raise up excellent children and give them a life that he never had. You get what I'm saying? And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But of course, society makes it just like how we talked about abortion, right? Abortion, we talked about how when you're poor, your options are limited. The only option you really have is to kill the baby. That is the option. When you're poor and you have a man, the only option you have is to tell the county that your man is not around and he is away from you, so you can reap benefits. Meaning, what's it? Welfare, right? You get the county, you get the cash aid, you get the Medi-Cal, you get the EBT, you get all these things if you don't have a man around. You have to say you don't have a man around. So now, psychologically, that starts to make you hate the person that you're with, because your society is making you depend on them and not him. You feel what I mean? He can't be around in your crib. Him being in the crib is damn near illegal. Y'all know everything I'm saying is true, right? Right? Him being in the crib is damn near illegal. County come for some reason. He got to hide in the bathroom and shit, do some more, hide in the shower. You know what I'm saying? Be quiet as hell. And then he got to get out like, damn, whew, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's our lives. You know what I'm saying? That's our lives. All right.
And that was another thing with Section 8. You had to get out the house. I know, because I had to get out the house during inspection.
Listen, what I'm saying, you think you're saying somebody else's story? That's just the truth, right? The truth is, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So now, that's our lives, though. That's why it takes a strong woman to be with. You know what I mean? I would say do it all. Hide in the shower. Get it all. You get what I'm saying? Get it all until you don't have to do it anymore. You get what I mean? Until one day you don't have to do all that. But get it all. Hide in the shower. Get the money. Get the car. Get the Medi-Cal. Get all that. Like they trying to F you, right? F them. You get what I'm saying? F them. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's how black people survive. That's how Hispanic people survive. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody can manipulate the system more than us. Right or wrong? Like, no one is manipulating the system more. They think like they all, oh yeah, we gonna get them. No, you're not. We like 2 steps ahead every single time. We plan out. Okay, this is what you're gonna do, right? This is how our lives, and that's what makes our bond stronger, because we go through those things together, and then one day we don't have to be in those things. You get what I'm saying? Or we get adjusted to what our life is, and we just are masters of it. We can put other people on and teach them how to do the same thing if you're in that situation. You get what I'm saying? But you know, that's how we have to live and survive. Straight up. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't sweat it. Any other questions on the topic or off the topic? We did have another thing. We had obtaining spiritual strength. We probably gonna get that to that next week. All right. Good to go? Solid. With that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Oscar Ward.
Elijah Shabbat, Elijah Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Individual Sarah facing up walking, stand and facing brothers. I think we're gonna get one salute to the sisters. Individual Elijah Shabbat, Elijah Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Dirty Matah, dismissed.
Yeah, good to go.